Hello and welcome to La Rosa Reads. I'm Denise La Rosa and today I am sharing my October reading plans. Let's talk books. This is turning out to be one of my favorite reading months ever. The past few years has brought me amazing October reads, and I'm hoping that this year will do the same. I've decided to go for the spooky, mystery, speculative fiction vibes, maybe a little bit of fantasy vibes for this month, and also leave room for those other reads that will come my way. So you will notice that most of these books will fit those descriptions that I just named, and without any further ado, let's dive in. The first book that I plan to read in October is a book that I've had for well over a year, and it is Ocean State by Stuart Onan. This is a local Pittsburgh regional author who was one of the guest authors, speakers of the inaugural Greater Pittsburgh Festival of Books, its first year. And I got this book signed, I heard him speak, and I have to tell you guys, I don't know why I've waited this long to read the book because this speculative fiction piece definitely caught my interest when I first heard about it. All right, so we have the setting taking place in a working class town. I'm already feeling that. The setting is everything. And it's along a Rhode Island shore. This is a beautifully written and profoundly compelling novel about sisters, mothers, and daughters, and the terrible things love makes us do. So, hello, family, a family of women, generations. I am all about it before we even get started. A high school student was murdered, and we find out who did it right away. So, I like the action. The story that unfolds from there with incredible momentum, yay, thus one of the build-up to and fallout from the murder, told through the alternating perspectives of the four women at its heart. Angel, the murderer, Carol, her mother, and Bertie, the victim, all come alive on the page as they converge in a climax both tragic and inevitable. Watching over it all is the retrospective testimony of Angel's younger sister, Marie, who reflects on that doomed autumn of 2009 with all the wisdom of insight. Yes, I love hearing that the pacing is just going to take off and continue to just flow and move. Ocean State, here I come. Another book that's been collecting dust, literally, on my shelves, I'm like seeing the little dust particles floating up in front of me, is All Her Little Secrets. This book by Wanda M. Morris, I have to first back up and say, why did I say all her little secrets? Like, that just sounds weird. Like I'm talking about like a children's book, but this is not a children's book, y'all. This is a wonderful thriller that I have been wanting to dive into. It also is the first book in a series. So, what's going on here? I think I recall it being about a Black attorney, female attorney, and from there, I don't remember. So, Elise seemingly has it all, an Ivy League law degree, a well-paying job as a corporate attorney in Midtown Atlanta, great friends, and a for-fun relationship with a rich, charming executive who just happens to be her white boss. Okay, we're getting messy from the jump. But everything changes one cold January morning when Elise arrives in the executive suite and finds him dead with a gunshot to his head. Woo! Yes! Okay, we are 2 for 2, baby. I don't need to read any more of this synopsis. I am here for it, and I cannot wait to read All Her Little Secrets. I have been nostalgic for ballet lately. I don't know what is going on because my body could not even think about doing anything beyond the first, second, third, fourth, fifth position arms, and even those get tired. But I am yearning for those days of being in the dance studio, standing at that bar, engaging in adagios at the center, doing across the floor work. I just miss it. I miss the sweat. I miss the like vibes, the energy of that space. And so I've been reading a lot of books that are focused on the life of ballerinas, and in October, I'm hoping to read Nocturne. This book by Elisa Weiss, I believe is her name, is one that I had never heard of before. I just happened to be perusing the shelves at one of my favorite independent bookstores in West Virginia, and I mean, come on, y'all. Like, this cover is giving I mean, the ballerina is doing her thing. I mean, look at that, on point. The tutu with the flowers and inset is like a image of, I don't know, looks like a little ghastly man and a ballerina. I need this book in my life. So it's set, I believe, in the 1930s. Let's see here. Or even earlier. Yeah. Well, we're talking about the Great Depression era. Years later. So it doesn't start off there. It starts some years earlier. And so Grace has become a prima ballerina. This is her dream. And this has been something that she's been longing to do. And here it is. But it's not the triumph she envisioned. Time and familiarity have tarnished that shining vision, and her new position means the loss of her best friend. She also attracts the attention of Master La Rosa as her personal patron, and realizes the world is not as small or constricted as she had come to fear. Who is her mysterious patron, and what does he want from her? As Grace begins to unlock the master's secrets, she discovers that there is beauty in darkness as well as in the light, and finds that true friendship cannot be broken by time or distance, and realizes that there may be another way entirely to achieve the transcendence she has always sought. So I feel like this has got like darkness looms, right? Like even from the cover, darkness is looming. I don't know what makes it dark. There's mystery as far as the character, like a description of a character. So I think it's enough to make me cozy up with a comforter on a crisp fall night and get lost. So Nocturne, I am ready for you. All right, this next book is grotesque, and I'm afraid that I might have to DNF it for that reason, because your girl is not about grotesque reads. I'm not about grotesque anything. I'm nervous, but I am hopeful that I can get through Jackal. Jackal is written by Aaron Adams, who hails from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and that is really close to Pittsburgh, where I am from, where I'm living, where I've been living for nearly 20 years. And I met her at the Pittsburgh Festival of Books this year, actually. It's hard to believe the year's flying by. It was actually in May. And I have always been curious about this book. I've been seeing it on BookTube. I've been seeing images of it on Bookstagram, and I have just been curious. The synopsis is intriguing enough that I'm willing to take a risk. So we shall see. I know we're in a small town. I feel like it's inspired by Johnstown, and it's a predominantly white area. There are Black folks there, and this Black woman, Liz, doesn't have fond memories of growing up there. Oh, it is Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Okay. Yikes. So she doesn't have fond memories of living there, but she's returning because her best friend is getting married, and she's just bracing herself to get through this weekend in this awkward hometown that she just does not care for. And she wasn't expecting that on the night of the wedding, somewhere between dancing and dessert, the newlywed's daughter, Caroline, would disappear, leaving behind only a piece of white fabric covered in blood. And the frantic search begins. Police are combing the nearby woods for Caroline, and Liz is the only one who notices a pattern. A summer night, a missing girl, a missing Black girl, a party in the woods. She's seen this before. Keisha Woodson, the only other Black girl in Liz's high school, walked into the woods with a mysterious man and was later found with her chest cavity ripped open. So Liz is out to solve this mystery of who done it. And I have a feeling this is going to be full of descriptions that are just going to creep me out. But I want to give it a try. So Jackal, I hope it works for us. So I believe their name changed a while ago. They're not known as the Dixie Chicks. They'll always be the Dixie Chicks to me, because once your band is named something, it's hard for me to get that name out of my head. But the Chicks sang a song years ago that I just delighted in, Goodbye Earl. And we have my favorite author, one of my all-time favorite authors, Lisa Cross Smith, having fun with that title with her latest book, Goodbye Earl. Yay! I mean, you got country music, you got my favorite author, you've got a book. I am just, in my happy place. So I know that in this book, we're talking about some women who are either returning for a high school reunion or they're returning to solve a high school mystery, like murder mystery. So let me refresh my memory. In 2004, Rosa Marie, Ada, Caroline, another Caroline, and Cassie are in their final days of high school and on the precipice of all the things teenagers look forward to when anything in life seems possible, from falling in love to finding their dream jobs to becoming who they were meant to be. In 2019, Casey has returned to her small southern hometown of Goldie for the first time since high school, although she still hasn't told even her closest friends the truth of what really happened that summer after graduation, or what made her leave so abruptly without looking back. Now reunited with her friends for a wedding, she's determined to focus on the simple joy of being together again, only to be catapulted back to that fateful summer after she notices troubling signs that one of them might be in danger. But Casey refuses to let the worst moments of her past define her, and she swears that this time will be different. This time, she will protect those she loves at all costs. This is a weird connection I'm making between Jackal and Goodbye Earl. We've got returning to a hometown that doesn't have fond memories. We have something that happened in the past that is like looming over the present. I think this is going to be quite the exciting read. And we've got Lisa Cross Smith's talent, so of course it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to say goodbye, Earl. Will I get to this book this month, this year? I don't know. But what I do know is people who know me are telling me this book has Denise LaRosa written all over it. And I happened to get it for free. A colleague was clearing out her shelves and decided to place it in my hands. And I think it's time for me to read Babel by R.F. Kuang. Some people have said Babel, some people have said Babel, some people have said the author herself has said Babel and Babel. I'm going to say Babel, okay? We got that straight. So we've got fantasy, we've got academia. So the fantasy part is not usually my vibe, and my colleagues, my book friends, people know that. But I am such a nerd. I mean, I'm Dr. LaRosa. I went to school for as long as I could. I went all the way through and then some. So the academia part, they said, is just so exciting, and I think I'm going to give it a try. I keep reading the synopsis, and I'm concerned and nervous about the world building. I'm not really good with world building, and especially if it takes so long, but people are telling me it's easy to follow. You get a sense of the world, you're into the world right away. So let's see what happens. It's 1828 already. I'm like, I don't typically read books taking place prior to the 1900s, but whatevs. Robin Swift, orphaned by Caleria and Canton, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lavelle. There, Robin trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese. My oldest daughter's taken Latin and loves it. All in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. So from here, it's like Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, but knowledge obeys power. And as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, he realizes serving Babel means betraying his motherland. As his studies progress, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and the shadowy Hermes, Society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. When Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide. Okay, so we've got like academia, we've got a character, so that I love character-driven books. And it seems like this character has some tough decisions to make and is being pulled, in multiple directions, a couple of directions. I can get with that because I think what would keep me going is to see what does the character decide. Which side do they take? Where does their life take them next? So Not sure if October will be the month, but I definitely hope that Babel is in my future. Okay, here we are, friends, my October hopefuls. What are you hoping to get to this month? Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.